This is Mountain Bike Maintenance 101, the core skills every beginner should know. Some of these are going to save your ride out on the trail, and others are going to keep your bike running smooth at home. You don't need to be a bike mechanic in order to do these, but if you can't do the basic stuff, then you're going to spend a lot of time at the bike shop. The first skill is going to be how to change a tube. If your bike is tubeless, you won't need this as often, but you still need to know how to do it. Because if you get a flat that your tubeless sealant can't repair and a plug doesn't fix it, then you're definitely going to need to know how to change a tube. For this, you'll need tire levers and then a pump and a tube that matches your size of tire. This right here is your standard inner tube, and this right here is a TPU inner tube. You can tell the difference. They're both 29-inch tubes, but this one is way lighter and this one is definitely heavier and bigger. The TPU tubes are definitely more expensive, but they're a lot smaller and they fit in your pack a lot easier, and they're stronger than your standard tube. If you want any of the stuff you see in this video, I'll link it down in the description down below. So for the first step to change a tube, you're going to want to change your gears all the way to the lowest gear that you have. And then you're going to come back here and turn your clutch off if you have a clutch, or put your derailleur in the lock position if you're SRAM. Then unscrew your through axle, pull it out. And this is the part that most people make hard, but it's actually really easy. You just grab your derailleur right here and then pull it back. And then the tire comes right out. Just like that. Okay, so now that you got the tire off, you're gonna need to grab your tire levers and then deflate your tire all the way if there's still air left in it. Then you're just gonna push around the bead. Like this. If it's a tubeless tire, it's definitely going to be harder, especially if it's seated on the rim. And then you just grab your tire levers, and then you just put both of them in to the tire where there's slack, and then push forward. And then pull all the way around the tire. That. And then you want to unscrew your lock ring on your valve. That little guy right there. Put him in a secure place. And then you just pull the valve out and you have your tube. So now when you get your tube out, you're going to want to unravel it to look like this. And then since there's no air in there, you'll want to get your pump, put it on there. Be careful not to damage the valve core. And then you just pump it up a couple times, just to get some air in there. This needs to look like this. Take your pump off. And get all the kinks out of the tire. Make sure it's facing the right way. And then find your valve core hole. Put the valve core in, and then you can grab your lock ring again. Screw that on. Does not have to be tight yet. We'll tighten it up later, and then you just start putting the tube in. Be careful not to pinch it in between the rim and the tire. Then you'll have to redo the process again. Make you good at changing tubes. Then you just carefully put tire back on, taking care not to pinch the tube between the rim and the tire. And when you get to the end, it can be a little hard to get on, so a trick is you take your tire levers and then you flip it around this way, so that way the hook goes onto the rim, and you just fold it over. Just being very careful not to pinch the tube that's in there. Just pop it on like that. And then make sure you secure your valve core down with the lock ring. Should be real easy to get it on there now. And then you grab your pump. You can use an air compressor too if you have one. And that is how you change a tube. It's really easy once you know how to do it. If you're enjoying this video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe while you're down there. Alright, let's get back into the video. So now for step 2, we're going to add sealant to your tires. So if you run tubeless, this is definitely a step that you need to know how to do. So same like the tube, you need your tire. But this time your tire is probably going to be fully inflated. You just take the valve cap off. Deflate the tire. Just like changing a tube, we're going to press all the way around the tire. This time you're going to be able to get it farther into the rim. And you also need your tire levers. And then you don't have to be worried about pinching a tube in here. You can just pry it off. I like to go, you don't want to be by the valve when you pull it off. You want to be further along. And then you just need just a little bit open. So that way you can add your sealant. So now that you got your tire off, we need to put sealant in. I like stand sealant. I'll link it in the video description down below if you want to get yourself some. Just gotta shake it up real good. Once you have it shaken up, you just need to pour about 3 to 4 ounces depending on your tire. So you're just going to pour your sealant in, just like that. And then this is the important part. You want to get your tire back on the rim without spilling sealant everywhere. So you just put your hands down here and then slowly rotate the tire like that. So then all the sealant goes to the bottom because of gravity. Then you just push the tire back over. Get it as far as you can. Try to get into the center of the rim. That way you'll have more slack. And then once you can't go any farther, you can grab the tire levers again. Just be careful if you have rim tape. You just do it just like the tube. You get it on there just like that. Then you'll probably want some shop towels or paper towels, just so then you can wipe up all the sealant that spilled anywhere, if you spilled any. And then you'll definitely want an air compressor for this step because it's hard to seat a tubeless tire without one. So I have an air inflator right here. You can link it in the video description down below if you want to pick one up. It's pretty small, compact, and it works pretty well. If you don't have a Presta on your air compressor, you'll need one of these little guys. This is a Presta to Schrader adapter. So then all you have to do is find your valve, and then you just screw it on like this. And then your Presta valve becomes a Schrader valve. You just hook your air compressor up. Stan says don't put in any more than 30 psi, and I find that seats the tire every time, so. When you hear that big ping, sometimes it's more of a bang. That's when you know that your tire is completely seated all the way around the rim. And that is how you add sealant to a tubeless tire. This is really important for all beginners to know how to do, especially if they have tubeless tires, because the sealant does dry up, or if you get a puncture, it does leak out. So you do need to top it up every now and then. So the first thing I do before I even get started on working on my bike is I make sure I clean it. So that way you can have a clean bike and a clean slate to start working on everything. It's pretty quick and easy, and there's no reason not to do it. And when you have a clean bike, you can ride more confidently on the trail. So you just don't want to use jet on your bike, because that can get into your bearings and whatnot. Just give everything a nice rinse off. I personally don't use bike soap, I just use water. All you really need is a couple of microfiber towels. If you want, you can get some brushes. I use these brushes. So all you have to do is either get your microfiber towel wet or your brush. Just use a brush, and this brush is you can get into all these hard to reach areas. Underneath your seat, all these crevices. Work your way around. So then you can just grab your other brush, wet it down, or just continue using the same microfiber towel if that's what you're using. Make sure you get your derailleur. Now that you got all your dirt loosened up, you can just rinse it off again. Remember, don't use jet. And that is how I rinse off my bike. Now we're going to dry it. So you just want to, if it's in a stand, just take it off the stand. So this is best done on concrete, but you can just do it wherever you need to. And just, all you're trying to do is get as much water off as you can before you go to dry it. So now you just grab your microfiber towel, a dry one, and then you just start drying it. Start from the top down. Now we're going to dry the chain, and you want to make sure you have a different microfiber towel that you don't care about getting dirty. And then go around on all the cogs. If you want to get more serious about drying your cogs, you can actually take your back wheel off and then floss it by putting your towel in like this, going all the way around. That is one option. Otherwise, you can just spin around, move your towel positions a couple times, that way you can dry everything. Get your front cog, get your derailleur, get any spots that you missed, and then for your pedals, you can just kind of scrub them a little bit. Pedals and tires you can't really get clean all the way, but washing them a little bit does make them look a little better than not washing them at all. There we go. Now you want to let your bike completely dry before you add your chain lube. So now we're just going to put some finish detail on the bike. Now that's completely dry. And this stuff you do not want to get near your brake rotor, so I just spray it on the towel. And then wipe it on. This can also help you get, if you missed dirt in a few places, that you're going all over the bike. Be very careful around your disc rotors. That's how you wash your bike. This is very important and a very crucial maintenance step, because if your bike is dirty, dirt can get and stuff, make a grinding paste, it can be bad. So now that our chain is completely dry, we're going to go ahead and lube it, so that way your chain lasts longer, is quieter, it runs more efficiently. There's lots of different ways to lube your chain. You can lube it however you want, but you're just trying to get it into the inside of the rollers. So that is where you actually need to lube the chain. You don't need it just on the outside or on the top. You need it where it actually contacts your cogs. So now you just want to spin your bike around a couple times so that way the lube works into everything. Because if it's just sitting on there, it does actually no good. It needs to actually be on the inside. So if your gears sound like this, it's actually a really simple adjustment. And all you have to do is you go up here. So we need to turn the barrel adjuster on the shifter in, and that actually loosens the slack a little bit. So that way it doesn't try to go up the cassette and goes back down. If it was trying to go down, you need to put the barrel adjuster out. And that way it pulls the cable out and makes it longer, and then tightens the cable. If you want a full video on how your shifting works, let me know in the comment section down below. So now I'm going to show you how to check your chain. This is a very easy beginner step to do, and if you do it, you can save a lot of money because your entire drivetrain costs about $400 to $500 depending on your make and model. And if you replace your chain on time or just a little bit early, then you can get about 3 chains per cassette and chainring, which will save a lot of money over time. So all you do is you put it on your chain and then you push it forward. This is really easy, and then it just tells you what your chain wear is. If it is a 12-speed chain, you do not want it to get past 0.5. So I am at a little bit less than 0.25. So this is still a pretty new chain. I just put it on. And that is how you check your chain's wear. And if you want to see a full video on how to replace your chain, go ahead and check out this video right here where I break it down. Or if your chain does not need replaced yet, go ahead and check out this video right here where I review my multi-tool. I'll see you over there.